this recording now. And we will.
Phoebe, say something.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, a little bit louder.
Hello, how are you? Louder? Hello, how are you?
Let me check and see if I can open that gate in the back.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I'll ask.
Phoebe, give me a countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Okay,
6.
hang on.
Yes, that's what you meant.
Okay, try now.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hold on. Okay, do it again.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay,
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, that's okay.
Is that alright?
Sure.
Is that comfortable?
Sure.
You sure it's
10.
okay?
Yeah,
no,
sure. Just talk.
okay. Oh, shit, no wonder. Okay, that's input.
Hey, you want to test this from you?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Cool. We're good on sound on mine and Uncle Phil, just so you know.
Test.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Okay, that's good.
And that's the video camera, right?
Video.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad I didn't wag mine down.
I wanna see your frame on this so I can match it. Maybe. Oh, okay. So you want the frame look like that on Grandpa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, most on him. You don't need to capture me.
Okay, let me see your frame.
I'm like reframing. I wanna
Yeah,
get
go
that.
tighter. Go tighter. Okay.
You have such experienced sons and grandsons.
How about like that?
Well,
Oh,
Philip has a master's degree in filmmaking.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, I knew that
Yeah,
Sam
that's
takes
good.
really good
Like that,
pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just happened to be talking to
No,
Philip,
sure,
and
just
he
look.
says, "Well, I'm a
What's your
videographer."
aperture?
Huh?
What's your aperture?
I've got mine on auto.
Auto aperture. Okay. I think I should go a little bit higher on my tripod.
Yeah.
What was it? Actually, I'll just zoom out a bit. There we go. You can crop in. Are you shooting 4K?
Huh?
You shooting 4K?
Yeah,
Okay.
They're speaking Greek to
You
me.
can crop in on that, right?
that's good right there.
All right, cool.
Okay, you running?
I'm
One
running.
martini will be good.
Okay,
That's all.
speed.
A little tequila's gonna be real good.
All right. Hewlin Robert oral history.
Hello, Hewlin.
Hello.
My name is Phebe Duvall, and I'm a 10th Mountain Division descendant. My dad was in World War II, and I'm interested in hearing about your experience as a veteran of the 10th Mountain Division, and because you fought in World War II. So, and I know that you've written this military experience that's on your website, correct? This on your website?
Right.
Right. So if anybody needs to know more information, this has lots of information. But I read through it again, and I noticed there was some, I thought it'd be nice if you talked about how when you were at Louisiana State University, talk about how you got involved in being in the Army.
Well, I was in the ROTC at LSU, and they put us in reserves. And at the end of the semester, they put us on a train to Camp Roberts, California for basic training. And from there, after basic training, I ended up in Camp Hale, Colorado. There were about 8 of us from LSU who went there. And there was some guys from the University of Oregon had been sent to Camp Hale, just like us. And they wrote to their commandant of cadets at Oregon, and he twisted some arms or something, and they got to go back to Oregon to finish their schooling. So we wrote to the commandant of cadets at LSU. He writes a letter back, says, "Sorry boys, you're in the Army now." And next thing I know, I'm up to my ass in snow at Camp Hale, Colorado.
It's a little different than being in Louisiana, wasn't it? Except for last week. Well, when you, and then would you like to talk about how you ended up, I guess at Hampton Roads?
And
Yes.
where?
Well, how you got from the United States to Italy,
On a boat.
right? But wasn't it a converted
It
cruise
was,
ship?
yeah, it was to Argentina. And it was like a 10,000-ton trip, boat. And there was a USO troop on the ship with us. And they put on a show for us. The food was terrible. We only had 2 meals a day, and it wasn't very good.
Yes. And where did you land?
We landed in the day before Christmas, 1944, in Naples, Italy.
Okay. And then what did you do once you were in Italy?
Well, they put us in a compound about a few miles out of town. And my buddy Charles and I decided that we wanted to see Naples. And our company had guard duty, so we had no trouble getting out. So we hopped the train and went into Naples. Everything was blacked out. Each street had off limits, off limits, off limits. And finally in one street we saw a door open, so we headed for it and we got there, and there were 2 British soldiers trying to get in this place, and they wouldn't let them in, but they let us in. And it was crowded with people, and there was a huge grill with chicken cooking on it. And we decided we weren't hungry, so we left. Caught the train back. Guard duty had changed. Our company wasn't on guard duty anymore. So we walked around the fence until we found a hole and got back in through the hole.
That was good.
And that's what I saw of Naples.
Okay.
The next day they put us on an Italian boat and took us from Naples to Lugano and Leghorn. And then we went out, we were just camp, put up our pup tents in a field, and we were training all day and waiting for the rest of the division to get to Italy. And one night, a couple of guys and I decided we wanted to see the Pisa.
Mm.
So it was about 5 or 6 miles into Pisa, so we took off walking. Got to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa by the moonlight,
Oh, nice.
but everything was blacked out. Once in a while you'd see a door open and somebody go in or out very quickly, then the door would close again.
I was interested in reading how you became a communications expert, or that was your duty.
Well, I got into the communication squad at Camp Hale,
Mm-hmm.
and we had radios and telephones. And one time at Camp Hale, these radios were supposed to be good for about 20 miles, and that was it. But every once in a while, they were good for a lot further. And we were out at Camp Hale, we were out in the mountains training, and somehow I got on with this airplane going to land into Denver. And the guy says, 10,000 feet, gliding. So I pressed my button, I said, 10,000 feet, walking.
That was a good story. And then apparently you interacted quite a lot with Captain Dole.
Captain Dole was our company commander.
Right. And I read some of, he worked with you also over there in Italy.
Well, when Bob Dole spoke at the museum here, I asked him if Frederick Dole was any relation.
Oh.
And it took him about 10 minutes to say no, he wasn't.
Oh, so it wasn't the same Dole?
Yeah,
Oh, it was. Okay.
they were both Dole,
Right.
but they were no relations.
Oh,
It
okay.
took him 10 minutes to explain.
I see. Okay. And then I understand that you also climbed Riva Ridge.
Yes, but K Company was in reserve the night we took River Ridge,
Mhm.
and the next morning we went up to River Ridge.
Okay. And then where did you go after that?
After that, we kept moving. These were the Apennine Mountains, and we ended up attacking Mount Della-Tarascia. And that was the first real battle we got into. I remember Captain Dole sent me back with a message for his second in command. And afterwards I was running back trying to catch up in this field, and the artillery shells were going all around. And I saw a hole and I jumped in. The hole was a shell crater, and once I got settled, I saw an arm, then I saw a leg, then I saw a head, and finally I saw a trunk with no arms,
Mm.
no legs and no head.
Mm.
And that's what war is.
That's right. Well, when did you return to America?
With what?
When did you return to the United States? Or were there other
It was-
battles after this one?
We came back in July of 1945.
Okay.
The plans for us was to do a little more training and then go to the South Pacific. But Truman dropped the atom bomb while we were on our way back. And of course the war ended then.
That's right. What did you do when you got back home.
The one thing I really missed in Italy was milk.
Hmm.
And when we were going through the Po Valley, people were really nice. They were giving us food and everything. And I saw one guy giving out milk, and I went running up, but his bucket was empty. He saw how disappointed I was. He said, "Wait, I'll milk the cow." So he milked the cow, and I filled my canteen with milk,
Fresh milk.
fresh milk.
Is there anything else in Italy that you remember that you would
The
like
what?
to? Was there anything else about Italy that you would like to talk about?
Well, there's some things I better not talk about.
Right. But you do have your memoirs and you have your website,
Right.
which I am very impressed by.
Phoebe, ask him if he ever shot his rifle.
Oh, did you ever shoot your rifle when you were in Italy?
When we were attacking Mount Della Terracia, company headquarters was behind a little knoll, and the battle had started, and I'm inching up, I've got my rifle, I'm getting to the top of the knoll, when Captain Dole says, "Robert, what the hell are you doing?" I said, "I'm gonna get off a few shots." He says, "Get your ass back here and operate that radio, that's your job."
You never got to shoot your rifle?
And when the war, toward the end of the war, we took the town of Tivoli. And we set up the company headquarters in a house. And there was 15 feet between the house and a little 4-foot stone fence. And I set up the radio inside the house. And I was outside. And the L Company had been trapped in a tunnel all day. And we saw some men walking along the beach, and we thought that was L Company. So we called out to them, "L Company," what? They answered with machine gun fire. It was a German patrol.
Oh no.
So I got a few shots off then.
Oh, good.
And then the German 88s across the lake, we were on Lake Garda.
Mhm.
They zeroed in on the house, and the shells were hitting on the house, and shrapnel was hitting all around me. And a tracer shell was burning 6 inches from my leg. And I thought, I better get inside and operate that radio, that's my job.
Good soldier.
Ask him
Can I
about
put a
PPD.
request in?
Okay. Okay.
Grandpa, can I get the story about the tripwire?
Yeah,
When you
that's-
were, when,
What does he want?
the tripwire story where you saw it and you didn't step on it.
Oh,
So what
that
you're
was
talking
on,
about? Yeah.
that was on top of Reza Ridge. I had, Dole had sent me back with a message, he was always doing that. And I'm walking to catch up, and all at once I stopped, and there was a wire across the trail. So I very carefully stepped over it and went on.
Had a good eye.
and do you remember that time that I set up, when I was like really young, and I set up a tripwire on South Lopez, and you stopped short of it, and never mind.
I don't remember that.
Okay, Tom. Ask him about VE Day.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about VE Day?
About what?
VE Day. Victory in Europe, right?
Okay. Actually, the war in Italy ended about 15 days before the rest of Europe.
Mhm.
We had taken the town of Tivoli, and we were going up this valley. And we kept going, and it got to be night. No, wait. The Germans had surrendered to us in Italy. So we're going up this valley to get to the border with Austria and Switzerland. And it got to be night, and we were still going. It turned out there was some German forces, and what kept them from firing on us is that we had lights. They thought, well, something's up if they're going at night with lights. So they found out what had happened and they surrendered.
Oh,
Ask him about the surrender.
can you tell me about the surrender? How they surrendered to you?
Yeah, they just give up, they put up their hands and
Daddy, I'm thinking
Give
about
up
when
their
you drove
weapons.
through town and all the Germans had put their rifles down and everything, or they were supposed to, but they still had their rifles.
we went, they still had their rifles. And the Italian people were putting flowers on the hoods of the vehicles. And there were the Germans, they were just standing at attention with their weapons. And the reason we were going up this valley was to get to the border, to keep the soldiers from getting back into Germany and not being POWs.
Okay. Was it shortly after that that you returned to the United States?
This was in May,
Mm-hmm.
and we returned to the States in July.
Okay.
And if the war had not ended when it did, we probably would have been stuck in Italy as occupation troops for quite some time.
That's what I understand. Well, I really thank you for your service, and I'm so glad that we got to hear your story. And as I said, I think you've done a fabulous job with the help of your sons and grandsons putting together a website.
Well, to tell the truth, I really didn't like the army. I was tickled to death to get out. And when they asked did I want to be in the reserve, I said, hell no.
Well, what did you do when you came back?
I went back to school.
Oh, okay.
There was the GI Bill, and I went back to school and got my degree.
What'd you get your degree in?
Accounting.
That's a good thing to do. But you still love outdoor activities. You've done so many canoe trips and adventure projects or adventure trips.
Yes, when I got back into civilian life, I went hunting a couple of times and decided I didn't like that. And I realized I could get in the outdoors without hunting. I quit hunting.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Or anything you want to mention about the 10th Mountain Division or life in general?
Well, a week in Rome, I spent a week in Rome
You did.
and went to some operas and did the tourist thing. Went to the museums and saw all the interesting places in Rome.
Did you ever go back on one of the return to Italy trips
No, but I did go back to Italy.
on your own? Okay. Well, as I said, thank you for your service and thank you for spending time with us to talk about your experience in the 10th Mountain Division.
Well, you're welcome. The website has a lot more.
The way your website has a lot of information, and it's HughlandRobert.com.
.com.
So if anybody wants to look it up, it's wonderful reading.
Cut.
Oh, yay. Thank you. I'm not an interview person.
That was great.